Welcome to Career Practitioner Conversations. This podcast is presented by the National Career Development Association. Welcome to the podcast. I'm Melissa Venable, NCDA Director of Professional Development, and it is again my pleasure to host an episode, and this one will be focused on mentoring relationships. I'm here with Dr. Sharon Givens and Rasha Madkour, and they are going to talk about their mentoring experience as mentor and mentee. I was so excited when they reached out to me. I think this is a wonderful topic that we could always stand to revisit, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Sure. Thank you so much, Melissa, for this opportunity just to talk about one of the things that I'm most passionate about, mentoring. And so I'm Sharon Givens, and I had the distinct opportunity to serve as president of the National Career Development Association from 2021 to 2022. I am a career counselor and also psychotherapist. I practice in Columbia, South Carolina, and Charlotte, North Carolina. So I actually have a private practice where I focus on career counseling, coaching, also psychological testing, and a variety of mental health services.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Melissa, for this opportunity. I was really waiting for this meeting since long time. I am Rasha Madkour from Saudi Arabia. I am a career coach and instructor, NCDA certified. My background is pharmacist. I worked in a pharmaceutical company for 22 years as sales training and coaching as well. And I am very passionate about coaching, specifically because I tried it a lot with the employees in my previous career, and I saw how much is the effect of career development coaching on individuals. So I'm passionate about this. And I found the NCDA organization that helped me in the last years to support my private practice and to leverage the practice and to make it much more beneficial for the individuals.
Thank you both. Again, it's a pleasure to have you here. I appreciate you taking the time. I know we're recording against many time zones right now. So your mentoring relationship, how did it begin? Was this part of a formal program? How did you meet? How did this come to be?
So I love that question because it has such an interesting response. One of my initiatives as president of NCDA was to start a mentoring program. Of course, NCDA has so many members with incredible gifts and talents that they can offer other people. And I thought that would be an excellent way for us as more seasoned career development professionals is to be able to share some of that knowledge with new or early career development professionals. And we were able to launch it. We did a soft launch, a pilot program. And Asha, which she will tell you more about, she signed up. I was trying to do more of the administrative components of it and making sure that we had good matches and that everything was running smoothly. So I was going to deny myself of a mentee as much as I wanted to. I felt like I should focus on kind of building the infrastructure of the program. Well, I found out that Rasha and her mentee, I think just due to time zone issues, it, they did not work out, and she can tell you more about it, but she still wants to be involved in the program. And when I saw she was interested in growing her private practice, I said, I cannot let this opportunity go by. And so I reached out to her. I kind of explained to her who I was and what was happening. I said, but if you'd like, I may have something that I can offer you because I've had a private practice for years and I've coached for years. And I think even though we're in different parts of the world, I think there's some concepts that are universal that may be beneficial for you. And
Yes.
from there, she can probably tell you a difference.
Yes, thank you, Sharon. It was a very good opportunity for me when I saw the post of the NCDA announcing that there is a program for mentors for free sessions, and I was just took the course of the FCD, and it was a great opportunity for me. So I met Sharon by coincidence because she was not my mentor at first, and after 2 months of struggling with the timing challenges, we met, and Sharon, she thankfully offered to be my mentor. And I think this is since 2 years.
That's a really great story. Thank you both for sharing that. It was planned and yet not planned. There was some structure
Yes.
to it, and yet it evolved organically, which I think is the best way, really. And I mentioned time zones. You've mentioned some sort of geographical challenges. How has the fact that you are living on different continents, how has the geography and the cultural differences played into your relationship?
I think there is no main challenges in this area. We just struggled a little bit to adjust a time. So to have Sharon free in the middle of the week in her lunch break, and at the same time, I don't have any sessions or training or something. By heart now, knowing by heart that at 8:30 p.m. is 1:30 in your time. Culturally, we didn't face anything that could be a challenge for us because the practice of the NCDA is the curriculum that is known in Saudi Arabia and in the Middle East. It's the base of career counseling and career service providers. We are trying to customize some things for the practice during the practice, but we don't have any main points challenging due to differences in countries.
I think once we mastered the times, figured out what time was good for her and good for me, I think it was smooth sailing. We had one hiccup because here, we do the 1 hour behind and forward in the spring.
Yeah.
And we didn't account for that one time. And so I was like, hey, where are you? But really, I think that was probably the biggest challenge, mastering the time. Once we did that, I think we were full speed ahead.
Can each of you perhaps share a moment after you got going, after this relationship had built a little bit? You said 2 years that you all have been working together. Was there that first aha of one of your sessions that had a lasting impact on how you move forward from that point?
I would say it was quite a few. And I distinctly even recall our first session. And when she came on, the first thing I saw was her smile, but it was just almost like a sense of warmness that you could feel even, of course, through the computer. It was really interesting. It was like I had met this person before. I mean, it wasn't like we were struggling to kind of build conversation. It was just a really warm connection, very organic, but warm is always the word that resonates with me. So I feel like the rapport was built pretty quickly. And then, of course, we started to talk about career development, which we both have a strong passion for, and certainly coaching and working with individuals and training. But I think the first aha was just even the initial meeting for me. And there were several more after that, probably that Rasha can talk about.
Yes, I really the thing that makes us for a relation for 2 years is the trust that was built from since the first meeting. And this is something that everyone should know, that I had a trust on Sharon. I didn't meet her before, but I had a trust from her experience and her profile and her bio and her experience with the NCDA. So I got 50% or 60% trust only from the experience that she has. And from the first meeting, there was a kind of warmth and feeling relaxed, feeling safe while I was talking. And I had two aha moments. One aha moment was when I was focusing on the private practice. And suddenly, when we were talking, I told her, why I'm not an instructor for the FCG? I had a training experience before, and something within her questions makes me feel that I should make this. So it was my first plan. And this is the first aha moments why I'm not making this, and she supports me until I got the instructor certificate. The second aha moment was in promoting the program. And she was asking me about marketing, how you market yourself. And this was the second aha moment that what I took the certificate and I cannot promote myself. I don't have any marketing plan to do. So she supported me as well to get a plan for this and to have an action plan for this part.
Oh, Rasha, thank you. That really leads me into my next question here, which was, what kind of shifts have come from this journey of working together? And it sounds like you immediately became an instructor, and then you learned how to market
Yes.
yourself as an instructor. That's pretty impactful as part of your career journey.
Yes, indeed, yes. I had a goal since 2 years ago that is totally different now. I was focusing on the private practice, and knowing that I have experience in training and development, why not mixing both the experience and the certificate to be an instructor? And I think Sharon knows that I'm planning for more of this, and she's still supporting me.
Excellent, excellent. And Sharon, how have you changed? What have you learned about yourself in the process of being a mentor?
Oh, wow. I think there's so much. Well, I think the biggest thing is learning that mentoring certainly can happen across the globe. Now, if you have two people that are really committed, I think it doesn't matter where they are. We do have the ability to build a relationship. And I think for me, a lot throughout the relationship is just learning more about Rasha's culture. I felt like every time we met, she educated me perhaps as much as I educated her on something. And I think that was extremely powerful. And I've just gained so much knowledge just about her region, about her culture, but also understanding that there's lots of similarities that I didn't realize. That in so many ways that we're very similar.
So have either of you seen any kind of ripple effects of this? You've come together from very different places, but with very similar businesses and goals. How has this relationship, this building and these conversations that you have regularly, how have they brought on new opportunities, new perspectives?
I will say, I think in a way, it's given me more confidence, maybe to expand into different markets, working with different people, working in different countries, maybe that I didn't think about or didn't think I would have the level of comfort to do. And what was most amazing when we met, I had no idea, and we would laugh about as we would meet that this is really great, but I know that we'll probably never ever meet in person. And but still, we can always maintain that relationship via Zoom. But ironically, I did have the opportunity to go to Riyadh, where Rasha is, to actually facilitate some training. And guess who I had the opportunity to meet? And that was quite an incredible experience, that something happened that we thought would never happen. But also, I think a ripple effect was just building the relationship that really was like a friendship. It just really extended more. It started this mentorship, but I guess after meeting her and feeling that warmth in person, it was like meeting a friend, a close friend, almost this sisterly connection, which was really, really interesting. But we were still able to support each other professionally as well.
Yes, it was a great coincidence, another coincidence to meet in Riyadh. And I was very happy to meet Sharon. We really forget the 2 hours or the 3 hours we met about business. We were just friends because we know each other since 1 year and a half through the Zoom meetings. So we were talking about something else that is personal, more personal out of the business. And this makes more building rapport and more links between us. But at the same moment, when she's back to USA and we start our mentoring again, we only it was only about business again.
Yes.
Yeah. And again, this has been going on for several years that you all have been working together and getting to know each other. So
Yeah.
for our listeners who might be in a similar kind of relationship or who might be aspiring to find a mentor or a mentee as you all have done, how do you sustain this?
I think what keeps the relationship is the trust that I had on Sharon. And when I'm planning to do something or I'm having a new goal regarding the career counseling and the trainings, the first person that comes on in my mind is Sharon. So even if we don't talk for 2 months, she is the first one that I send her message. Can we meet? I have a question. I have something to know. So I think this the trust and the benefits that I had from the previous meetings make me come back to Sharon to ask her and to help to ask for her support.
Right. I would say two key factors, and that is commitment and trust. I think Rasha, she always knew that I had her best interests at heart, and knowing that I would give her as many resources, and I wanted the best for her. I wanted to see her business grow. I wanted to see her be this phenomenal instructor that she has become, and she trusted me. She's correct. She would reach out. She would always say, Sharon, what do you think? What do you think? Because I think she recognized that I had her best interests at heart. But it does take commitment. It's a little more challenging with the time zone, but we work around that. We're really good about sending
Yes.
each other messages and WhatsApp. It's always cool to wake up to see that she's has
Yes.
messaged me. It's
You've
nighttime.
got mail.
Yeah, I've got mail. And I'm like, I know who it is. And it really starts my day off on a positive note to read whatever she sent to me. But it does take commitment. Mentoring relationships overall, it requires a level of commitment. I think it's been very easy for us because we have so many shared interests, and it's just been a really organic, clean connection between the two of us. But it does take some commitment. There are times that if I haven't heard from her in a while, reach out. Are you okay? How are you?
Yes.
Just to
Yes.
say hello.
Happen. Yes.
Do you have a regular meeting schedule? Or how do you organize how frequently you're going to meet?
So when we were officially doing the mentoring program through NCDA, we met at least once a month. And honestly, after the program ended, it was never like, well, it's ended. We just kept going with contact. And it may not have been once a month, but maybe it was every other month, or we would communicate via email
Yes.
or WhatsApp, just keeping in contact. How are things going? Do you need anything? But we do have consistent contact, I would say at least every other month we will actually Zoom, and at least once or twice a month we will send messages in WhatsApp.
Yes.
That's helpful. So we don't have to be chained to our computers to have a mentor or a mentee at a distance. There's lots of ways to communicate.
Yes, yes. And actually, if there is any goal that we agree on and it will take time to implement, I just update Sharon that this is what I have done, this is what I have reached, and then we meet the month after. So it was according to the goal, it was according to the plan that we agree on.
Excellent. And so it sounds like you have a somewhat formal process that the two of you have a plan that you're working towards.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Well, so we have Zoom, we have the apps and
Mm.
email. What do the two of you see as the future of mentoring, or as new technologies come to be and the world gets smaller and smaller and we get closer and closer connections? How do you feel your relationship's going to move into the future, and what do you see for mentoring in general?
I think we don't want to put any limits on it. I just think we do have so many tools and mechanisms to connect with individuals, no matter where they are. And so I'm excited about that because it gives a broader scope now for mentoring. It expands the work that we can do, it expands the people that we can reach with our knowledge that we're able to connect and share with because of the different tools. So I'm hoping that the biggest key is that we will see an expansion or in capabilities of us being able to share our knowledge with new professionals across the world. I also hope it gives a louder voice for us to talk about career development. I hope it gives a greater platform for us to reach different people and see how others are actually or implementing career development across the world. And I think because we have these tools that we're able to do that and will be able to do more of that in the future.
I think also that people are talking now about the AI and that it will take part of the mentoring and coaching. And really, it could be a tool, a helpful tool for us to use it as mentors and coaches to support people. Um, Not yet. The humanity part is not there. The humanity part is not a part of the AI, even if he's asking a lot of questions, if he's making a conversation that is like human conversation. But still, it could be a tool for the coaches and mentors to use it for best practices, for better practice with the client, for more self-awareness for the client. But the human part is not there yet. We are the humans. I think it will not replace us.
I would have to agree with that. I think we cannot take away that personalized touch
Yeah.
and not do that.
Yes.
So the two of you met through a formal program at NCDA. How do you see these kinds of mentoring programs being expanded or enhanced? Certainly AI might be part of that, as Rasha mentioned. How can these kinds of programs serve more people around the world as we move forward?
I think we're going to have to offer maybe more multilingual content. We're going to have culturally relevant resources. Um, we're going to have to maybe expand more from the Western frameworks of mentoring and look and research mentoring as it relates in other areas of the world. What does that look like? Maybe in Australia, how do they see mentoring? What are the similarities and how do we connect? But I think we're going to have to be open. We're going to have to be able to look at mentoring from different facets and be willing to stretch ourselves, but also compromise and come together with our similarities.
I think that the initiative that was done from the NCDA 2 years ago, it's a great initiative. I don't know how many people registered in this, but if they expand this kind of initiatives all over the world and to have mentor and mentee from different countries and different cultures so they can exchange the ideas and best practices based on the NCDA curriculum and the NCDA practices, it will be great. And as I believe that you will find a lot of volunteers even to make the mentoring program with no fees or no financial needs. And it will be very beneficial for this exchange of countries and cultures.
This has been a very helpful conversation, and I can't wait to get some feedback from our listeners on this. As we close out today in this episode, I'm going to ask each of you if you had to summarize your mentoring journey in one word or phrase, what would that be and why?
That's such a tough question, but if I had to summarize in one phrase, I would say every session lights a new path. Every session lights a new path. There was always something learned. I think from every session, there was a level of growth. Maybe Rasha grew as a professional and I grew as a mentor, which is important, always looking for ways to be better as a mentor. So I would say every session lights a new path.
That's nice. I didn't prepare this like a metaphor for this, but I think it's the mentoring is a long-term relationship built on trust. And trust is a very big word that means a lot, and there are a lot of words beneath the trust. So I summarize it in the trust.
That's fantastic. Both of you very inspirational in those descriptions. So listeners, work with programs that are in your area and develop these mentoring relationships that can help you to learn more about yourselves as well as the work that you're doing. Sharon Givens, Rasha Madkour, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Melissa. It was a very nice opportunity to talk about the mentoring relationship that I have with Sharon, and to thank her in front of all NCDA members for all the support that she gave me the last 2 years. Thank you so much, Sharon.
And thank you so much for the opportunity. And I just have to say, it's been quite a journey and certainly not a task. It's been an amazing journey. So thank you for having me to be a part of it.
Thank you.
We hope that you all check in with us again in another year or two. We'll see where you're headed from there.
Wait for us. We will have good news for
Yes.
No doubt.